What's up, everyone? Welcome back to
Hey,
another episode. We are back. We are back, boys.
we're
Let's
back,
go,
bro.
dude.
Let's go. I can't believe I'm here again. I thought after the first time you guys might not want to, you know. What a night.
हाँ ये कर लो पहले
Um, yeah,
Yeah,
good start, bro. Good start, bro. This is how we
good
start the
stuff, good
podcast.
stuff. Definitely.
Yeah, this is how
Yeah,
we start the podcast. All right.
professionals. This is how
Yeah.
professionals do it.
Professionals, dude. Professionals, dude. What's wrong with the t-shirt, dude? It's going
Okay,
on. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, enough of stupid shithousery. Let's become gentlemen as we discuss F1 for today's agenda.
It's
So,
a gentleman's sport.
what?
A, a gentleman's sport,
Yes,
if you,
exactly. A
in a
gentleman's.
way. Yes.
So you've got to behave. And with me right now, I've got Aryan Singh. What's up, Aryan?
Hello, hello. How are you doing, bro? Thank
Uh,
you for having me back.
I'm doing good, bro. I was on cloud nine until I met you,
Yeah. Hey,
and now
what do you mean?
I'm on cloud 1000 now. I'm on cloud
Oh,
infinite now.
go smooth,
Hmm.
smooth. Let's go.
Yeah, bro. All
Hey,
right, good.
I'm right up there with you.
Uh-huh. See, exactly. We got to float somewhere in the clouds because what's the point living on ground? What's the point, just dude, like people say stay grounded, अपने पैर जमीन पे रखो, हट यार. Just
Yeah,
float.
bro.
Float.
Like, just,
Live life.
just do what you want, bro.
Exactly. That's my
Okay,
point.
if you wanna crawl, crawl. If you wanna fly, fly. Oh, there's no rules to this shit. It's your life.
Exactly, exactly. Nobody should tell you anything. Just do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
So, Sensei, my F1 Sensei, my guru, F1 guru, you're the one who introduced this world of F1 to me. Even though you're a
Uh-huh.
Mercedes fan and I'm a Red Bull fan, that doesn't matter. But you introduced this
Where did I go
to
wrong?
me. But now, Sensei,
Yes.
So, go on.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, this is Japanese, dude. Did you? Sorry, my bad, my bad, dude, my bad.
I was trying to think of something, but I was like, you know what? I don't want to get cancelled in the first video.
Yeah, no, dude. So for real,
Mhm.
introduce this world of F1 to our audience of 100 people. I don't care. Eventually, 100,000 people, and then 100 million people, dude. Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's
bro.
go. Yeah.
The thing, F1 is like, there's no one way to define F1. Like, sure, it's a sport. Yes, guys, it is a sport. There is no doubt about it. And the more you learn about it, you will understand why I'm saying it's a sport. It's basically 20 cars driving around a track. Now, it's not circles. There's a lot of technicalities into it, which we will get into eventually. But for all the beginners, yes, it is motorsports, it is car racing, but so much intricacies, the technicalities. There's so much more to it than just driving. It's drivers, teams, how teams build their cars. This F1 is just, it really can't be put into one single definition. I don't want to sound cheesy, but you can say F1 can mean different things to so many different people. For some, it's just something they find interesting. It'll give them something to do during the weekends. For some, it gives them motivation. For some, it just brings them pure joy seeing their favorite driver just perform week after week.
Exactly.
It's a roller coaster of emotions. Your driver doesn't finish the race. Your driver has a bad race. You're down throughout the week. That happens to me so many times, especially for the past 2 years. But we'll get to that
Ah,
later.
yeah, obviously. See, dude, I'll be honest, F1 for me is like this weekend booster, all right? So this
Exactly.
whole week you're just grinding, you're, being this formal, nice dude, yes, sir, I'll do this
Yeah.
now. Yes, sir, I'll finish this now. And then comes the weekend where you just sit, relax,
Exactly.
get your drink,
Exactly.
relax, 1.5 hours of pure joy, seeing your race, your favorite driver win or at least overtake, and all that thrill behind those overtakes, the thrill behind the
Exactly.
lead up to the weekend, and seeing Carlos Sainz just do this. No, no, no. That's for the girls, all right? Not me, all right? That's the girls. But yeah, dude, that's yes. F1 is pure joy when you have your mates, you have a nice drink, you just sit and enjoy. And what a time to be a Red Bull fan, dude. What a
Oh,
time to be a Red Bull fan, dude.
easy, boy. Easy.
No.
Calm down. Calm down. Well, you know what? I can complain all I want, but I can't deny the fact that there was, for at least till 2021, being a Mercedes fan was the best thing that could happen
Oh yeah, obviously.
because the domination that they portrayed, the seasons they had, the year, it was crazy. Especially being a Hamilton fan like me. Oh boy. And before we go ahead, a shout out to my sister who introduced me to F1. So she is to me what I am to you.
You have a
Everything
sister?
I know about F1,
Oh, Aryan, I knew you were my sister.
bro.
I knew you were my sister, dude. I knew it. You were my sister.
What?
Yeah, you just said she
I
is to
said,
me what I am to you.
yeah.
She was
What am I
sister.
to you, bro?
Sister.
I
Didi.
am your. What are you saying?
You said
I
your
said
sister is to you what I am to you.
what I am to you, not you are to me.
You said, shout out to my sister, what
I
she is
said
to me,
she is to
you are
me
I am
what
to
I
you.
am to you. Exactly.
Sister, exactly.
What?
All right, all right,
I'm so bad, bro.
all right, all right. I did A is equal to B, and then B is equal to C. So A is
Uh-huh.
equal to C, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Of
Okay,
course.
continue,
Of
dude. Continue, continue.
course.
Yeah.
So everything I know about Formula One is because of her. And she was the one who actually introduced me to the technical aspect of it. Because so around 2018, 2019, she would watch F1 races at home. I'd be like, bro, this is so boring. People are just driving. What are you finding so interesting about this? And I was like, everyone else was like, yeah, whatever, car racing. And then one day I sat down with my sister. She just started talking. She's like, "Look, this is what's happening. This is how the car works. That is what is DRS. Why is the wing opening in the rear wing? Why is that flap opening?" I was like, "Oh, okay, interesting." And slowly, slowly, I started learning about drivers, and then I got into their backstories. So then I got emotionally attached to drivers, and then slowly, slowly, I was
Uh-huh.
like, "Wow, this is so interesting." Because then weekend after weekend, we would sit together, we would watch a race, and I kid you not, we would scream throughout qualifying,
Wow.
throughout the race. It
Uh,
would be crazy, the emotions, and especially 2021. The qualifying sessions used to be crazy, where it was like Max or Hamilton. It was mad.
yep,
But
yep.
yeah,
No, I remember 2021, dude. That was probably the
oh,
peak of F1. Like peak of
it
F1,
was
man. That was
crazy.
crazy.
One of the best seasons we've seen so far.
Easily, easily, dude. And also talking about this, what is DRS? Like to be very honest, people are like, okay, explain DRS first, and then the
Mhm.
tires. There are three types of tires, right? Medium,
Right,
soft, and inter.
right.
So explain these. tires, these 3 tires, and the DRS.
Okay, so I'll begin with DRS, drag reduction system. Basically, these these cars work on downforce, which is why they're able to corner at such high speeds. Because otherwise, a regular road car would just go flying if they tried to make a corner at 150 kmph. But F1 cars literally create a vacuum between the ground and the floor of the car, which is why you can say they basically stick. They try to stick to the floor, which is why they can turn at 150, 200 kmph. And all of that is aerodynamically done through the rear wing, the front wing, and other parts. Now, when you're on a long straight, you don't need that much downforce because you're
Yeah.
not turning, you're going straight. So you
Mm.
don't really need to stick to the ground because you're not cornering. That
Mm.
is why during there are some parts on tracks where there are these zones called DRS zone. So basically, during that part, the driver presses a button on the steering wheel, which opens a flap in the rear wing. Now, what that does is that reduces the down and naturally reduces the drag. So if we look at it this way, imagine this is the car. Okay, this is a very weird way to portray it, but this is the rear wing, right? Okay. Now the car, this is wind. Now
Yeah.
the car's driving and the wind is pushing the car down from all sides so that it's balanced and staying to the floor. Now I activate DRS.
Yeah.
Now the
Oh.
flap is open in my rear wing. So now the wind is flowing like this. So it's like your car is shooting like an arrow, and that can add up to 30 kmph more speeds up to 30 kmph on straights. And now
Bro.
there are different rules to that.
Mm.
So for you to activate DRS in the DRS zone, you have to be within 1 second of the car in front of you at DRS zones. And DRS zones are usually before corners, which are before long straights. So, and it doesn't matter what position you are in, doesn't matter if the car in front of you is a back marker. We'll get into what a back marker is later on, or you are a back marker and the leader is in front of you. If you're within 1 second of a car in front of you at a DRS detection zone, you can then deploy DRS in a DRS. So
Wow.
that's basically drag reduction.
Dude, I honestly feel that you should take up teacher, bro. You should take up as a profession, like teacher. Swear to God, dude, I've Googled this, I've asked a few people, or by DRS से अबे car fast जाती है. Nobody explained, like, all the shit that you did. Nobody explained like that, dude. They were like, अरे wing खुलता है aerodynamics से car. Shut up, dude. मतलब जिस तरह से तूने अभी explain किया है ना all this shit. Love you, man.
Yeah.
That's why I love you, dude. That's why.
Yeah, bro. Just a disclaimer, I might not be the most technically accurate, but I'm gonna try to be as accurate.
Nobody's perfect in this world, Aryan. As you see, nobody's perfect in this world, dude. Everybody has
Yeah,
dal mein kala dal mein. So, dude,
yeah,
just be yourself. Just be free. People will appreciate
yeah, bro.
only if you be yourself and not this perfect
True, bro.
technical
True.
F1 group.
Very, very wise words, Baba
Yeah,
Modi.
oh. Yeah, yeah. All right. Next one, the
Okay,
types. So this.
the tires.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay,
tires. You know what I
so yeah, the rubber.
mean? Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so there are three types of tires which are used in a weekend: soft, medium, and hards. These are slicks. These are known as slicks because these tires have no grooves in them like your regular road tires. Those road tires are made for all seasons, right? You can use them during rains and anything. But these tires, soft, medium, and hard, are meant only for dry tracks, which is why for rain we have two separate tires, which are intermediates and extreme. So the color goes, the color. So you'd see if you've ever seen an F1 race, you'll see the tires have a color around the rim. So red means soft, yellow means mediums, and white means hard. And green means intermediates, and blue means extreme. Now, as you might be able to figure out from the names, softs are soft compounds. That means they're going to degrade faster, but they're going to give you the maximum amount of grip. Now, why is that? F1 tires give you grip by literally sticking to the track. So
Yeah.
you see why they have to maintain tire temperature? That
Mm-hmm.
is because they want the rubber to be hot enough to stick to the track, which again adds to the grip that the car gets.
Uh-huh.
And which is why there's tire management, there is tire temperature, there's so much that goes into tires. It's not कि oh मैंने 4 गोल रबर के टुकड़े गाड़ी में लगा दिए और उसने चला लिए. They have
Uh,
to manage the tire temperature, they have to manage the grips. And if the more we, like, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but the further we get, you will slowly see that everything is related to everything, which
uh,
is what makes F1 so beautiful. But coming back to the tire, now, I don't really remember, but there are different ranges of hardness of tires.
uh,
And what Pirelli or FIA does is, for a specific track, for a specific weekend, it picks 3 levels from the range of levels they have, and
mm,
then the least amount of hardness is termed as soft, then medium, then hard. So
mm,
there are more than, like, I think it starts from C1, C2, C3, C4, C5. Let me just clear that out. So there's C0,
mm,
C1, C2, C3, C4, C5.
mm.
Now, what Pirelli and FIA does is, for a specific race weekend, it picks 3 compounds and then it gives soft, medium, hard. And every team gets a specific number of softs, a specific number of mediums, and a specific number of hards.
Uh-huh.
And there are also rules to what tires they can use on Friday, what tires they can use on Saturday, and what tires they can use on Sunday.
Oh, so just a thing, like if there's a wild man like me around the tires, all right, I'm just playing around, I'm just having fun, and if I just poke one tire,
Yeah,
मैंने बिगाड़ दिया एक tire को, so I can't get a replacement of that tire.
no. So that's the thing.
Mm.
Pirelli will give you sets of tires, and it is so accurate that they will literally name it front right, front left, rear right, rear left.
Mm.
And you cannot, according to FIA regulations, you can't mix and match. So if I have a set of 4 tires, medium, let's say medium 1, and set of 4 tires called medium 2, I can't use the rear left from this and then use the front right from this. I have to use all 4 of this set or all 4 of this set.
Uh,
And after every weekend, every team is supposed to return these tires to Pirelli.
what?
So, yeah,
Oh,
teams are not allowed to keep tires because there's another rule to this. Teams might get an unfair advantage, or some teams have higher budgets than other teams. So if they have access to tires at all times, they can run some tests which some other teams might not be able to.
correct,
That's
correct,
one of the reasons.
correct.
So Pirelli and FIA tries to regulate that by asking each team to return tires after every weekend, and that is why you must have seen sometimes, or you must have seen videos of mechanics cleaning tires after a race.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do that because they have to weigh the
Yeah.
tire, check the pressure, and report it back to Pirelli and send it back. And that data is also used to improve the tires for the season.
Wow, dude. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing about F1 is data. The amount of data,
Yes.
the importance of data in F1 is crazy. It's nuts.
They collect every type of data you can think of.
Yeah.
They literally, data is the most important thing in F1.
Uh,
They collect all types of data.
Shit, man.
Crazy.
It's crazy. And when, like, you see Ferrari mess up their race strategy by putting on some different tires from, that tire
Yeah.
wasn't supposed to be in that lap, but they just fixed
Yeah.
it and they put that tire. What is the importance of a soft tire, a medium tire, and hard tire? When are these three tires used? When they should be
Okay.
ideally used? If you're a
Right.
Ferrari strategist, please make sure you watch this, dude. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
a few years ago, I would have said, nah, bro, please don't put me in that spot. But looking at how Ferrari's been performing, who knows? I might
Help.
actually know more than the Ferrari strategies, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing. But basically, what tires you put on when depends on what part of the race you're in and how much of the race is left.
Huh.
Now, and like what kind of position you're in. There are different levels of strategy that come into play.
Huh.
So let's say you're starting a race from first position,
Huh.
right? And it's a pretty long race, and everyone is saying that it's going to be a two-stopper. That means they're going to make two pit stops in the
Yeah.
race. Now, one strategy you could use is, since you're starting first, you don't really have to chase anyone, you have to defend. That means you have to make sure you get away from everyone else behind you as fast as possible.
Correct.
So that means you're going to push more at the start of the race
Correct.
to get as far as possible. So then, and you don't mind pitting earlier, because if once you
Always an
make,
advantage.
once you
Yeah.
maintain, yeah, once you get an advantage, distance advantage, you don't mind pitting earlier. So you put on soft.
Correct.
That means you're going to get the most amount of grip from the first lap itself, and
Okay.
you're going to be able to create a gap between the people behind you and get as far as possible.
Okay.
Now
That's
let's say yeah. Now let's say you're starting fourth.
hmm.
That means you have to battle and make your way to the top before you can pit and like
Change.
take a little break during the race. Of course,
Yeah.
there's no breaks in an F1 race. You're always full force, full focus at all times.
Hmm.
Unless, of course, you're at the back and like 20 seconds behind from the guy in front of you. That's a
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
But if you were in, let's say, fourth position, you might choose mediums because you want to attack the cars in front of you. You're gonna push more on the tires, but you want to last longer because you don't want to pit early and lose your fourth position and come join
Correct.
the race again from the back and start fighting again. So you'll get mediums. That means you'll be able to fight the people in front of you longer. And if they are on softs, you can put more pressure on them because they're going to degrade their tires faster. Of
Ah.
course, you might have to manage your grip a little bit more, but your tires will last long.
Hmm.
And
That makes
like
sense.
we
Makes
discussed,
sense.
yeah, exactly. And like we discussed, there are different compounds, right? So each compound has performs differently at different temperatures. So at some tracks, they find the sweet spot with a specific compound. At some tracks, they'll find out that the hards are performing better than the soft
Uh,
throughout the race. Like the hards can last you 70-75% of the race. There
yeah.
are people who have tried to finish an entire race on one set of hards, but there's a regulation now which requires each driver to pit at least once during the race.
It's obvious, dude. Hards last longer. That's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, so yeah, that's the different
Yeah.
tire compounds and hardnesses, and that's the it's like I said, soft, medium, hard is how easily they stick to the track and how faster do they degrade, how much faster do they
Shit.
degrade.
Shit. Now I noticed. Oh, dude. One more thing. What are these inter tires? You know, when it's raining, people usually like
Uh-huh.
drivers are going for inter tires. So what sort of grip does that give? Obviously, the tracks are wet, so they need more grip.
Yeah,
So how does
yeah.
that tire role play? Play
Like
a role in this. What the hell, dude? What the hell, dude? Play a role in this. Yeah.
so moving on, intermediate and wets are like your mediums and hards for wet races when it's raining. Intermediates are for when it's raining, but not that heavily. So you don't really need extremes, my bad. Extremes of when it's raining extremely hard. And usually they red flag races when it's raining very heavily, but in certain cases where it's raining heavily, but it's safe enough to race, they use extremes. And intermediates are for when it's drizzling or it's starting to rain, or it's been raining for a while, but not that heavy. It
Mm,
depends on the level of rain. And
mm,
now how these tires add grip is pretty similar to how our road tires work.
mm,
Now they have grooves in the tire, and what the grooves do is they prevent aquaplaning. Now
mm.
you might ask, what is aquaplaning?
Yes.
Now like I said, the slicks, the tires which are used during um, dry states of the track, they when they reach a wet track, sometimes water collects in certain parts of the track. Now what happens is these cars are moving so fast that sometimes the contact between the tire and the track goes away because there's a layer of water. So
Oh,
the tire is spinning, but there's no grip. So the car starts sliding
oh, okay, okay.
because there's no proper contact between the track and the tire. That is called
Mhm.
aquaplaning. And now what the grooves in the wet tires do is they push the water behind. So they basically cut into the water and push it behind. So that increases the contact with the tire and the track and gives them more grip on a
Ah,
wet track.
I see. I see. Got it. Got it. This is very well explained, dude. No, no joke. This is very well explained. Now that we've done with all the technical stuff, let's move on to money, dude. This sport,
Money.
this sport, I tell you, dude, I've never seen the importance of money in a sport as much as F1. Please
Yeah.
explain how these teams, and it's a little biased as well. Like you see
Yeah.
Ferrari, Red Bull, and Mercedes always on the top, always on the top.
Yeah.
Since the last 10 years, they're always the fourth and fifth. They keep changing, but the rest they've always
Uh,
been at the top. So please explain the role of money in this sport.
so I think no one can argue the fact that Formula One is a rich man's sport.
Yeah,
Not just staying into the sport, getting into the sport, even as a driver, you need so much money because motorsports is an expensive field.
correct.
Most of these drivers begin at the young age of 5. They begin with karting. And it's not the same karting you and I do. We pick 4 friends, go for the weekend, 25 minutes, not even 25 minutes, 25 laps, which gets over in 5 minutes. Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
please.
yeah,
I'm not being extremely accurate here, guys. I hope I didn't say some random lap times, but you get what I mean.
yeah.
They have professional karting races in the Europe, and because it's mostly this sport is predominantly more prevalent. Wait, I think it's just more prevalent in the Europe, and it's expensive to get to the Europe, to stay there,
Correct.
to create your career slowly. And now, once you get into the sport, every part in an F1 car has to be so precise, so accurate. The whole process of creating that part, creating a car, requires so much money because these cars are mostly carbon fiber, which
Hmm.
we know is expensive as it is. Um, on top of that, every part they use is custom designed for their car, which
Yeah.
means, of course, they can buy certain parts from other teams. We'll get into that later, but they have to design every part in their car for their car, which
Hmm.
means they have to create it from scratch, every nut, every bolt, every small piece, which is why the again the temperature, the cost goes up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, coming to why the top 3 teams usually tend to stay at top 3. F1 has 2 championships, World Drivers Championship and World Constructors Championship, WDC, WCC.
Correct.
And the winner, the champion, gets a lot of money from the F1. And so does second position, so does third position. The constructor champions get that much money to develop their car more for the next season.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
it's the domino effect. If you finish lower, you get less money from the FIA. That means
Correct.
more money from your pocket goes into your team, depending on how rich you were apart from the FIA money, from the cash prize. It depends how much, decides how much more development you can do for your car, how much more
Correct.
research you can do for your car.
And like, what are these budget caps then?
So yeah, so now you will come in and say, oh, Ferrari has a lot of money for their team.
Correct.
That means they don't even need to rely on the championship money. They can just put in the money they have and develop their car, which is extremely unfair for the teams which are relying on the FIA money, which
Exactly.
don't have as much money as the richer teams. I introduced a budget cap, so it kind of, I mean, not as much as you'd think, but it tries to level the playing field for every team so that they can get a fair chance at developing their car. Of course, it's still a huge difference if you win the championship, the amount of money you get will make a difference. There's no doubt about
Correct, correct.
it.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Money makes it's super important in the sport.
But yeah,
To finish this off, I think this is a very nice basic overview of getting into F1. But for the new
yeah,
viewers, who do they support? Like, like, give me, you are obviously a Mercedes fan, so I am a Red Bull fan. I'm
yeah.
not going to, manipulate anyone into following Red Bull. But as a new, like, what makes you get up from the bed and support Mercedes? Like, what is that one factor that decides that I'm going to support this team?
So it's just the past of the team. I mean, of course, I admire Red Bull's past too, but there's certain things about Red Bull that I don't really like. We'll get to that later. But Mercedes, look at them. They left the sport a few years ago,
Yeah.
and they came back in I think 2009, if I'm not wrong. They got Schumacher, they got Nico Rosberg, and they raced. And then around 2013, 2014, they got Hamilton.
Uh,
Now, 2009 and all, they had decent seasons. They were coming back after a while, so they were not doing that well. 2013 onwards is when the Mercedes domination era started. Hamilton winning year
yeah.
after year, season after season. I think it was 2016 where Rosberg got the better of Hamilton for one season. I think it was 2016. I don't really want to be wrong this
2016,
one.
2016. It is 2016.
It was, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But then that's also a fact that Rosberg said in one of the interviews, or this is what people say, that that season took such a toll on him. Defeating Hamilton
Peak
completely
Hamilton.
drained him.
Yeah,
It drained him so much that he retired. It's like, I
exactly.
can't do this anymore. We'll get to that later, but Rosberg had coaches training him on how to think, how
Yeah,
to behave week after week, how just so that he could become better than Hamilton. And he
exactly.
did for that one season. Kudos to him. That was a crazy
And
season.
then he
But
retired.
yeah, bro,
After that season, he
he
retired.
retired.
He was like,
He
I've
retired.
achieved the
Like
peak.
one
It's
championship,
over.
I got what I wanted. I am out. I can't do this anymore. But then, yeah, this is why I love Hamilton so much. If you listen to his backstory,
Yeah,
the way that man works, the way he functions, is mind blowing. The focus he has, the determination. Sure, Mercedes gave him a good car to compete, but dude, look at what he did with that car. And
exactly.
a main reason, a key factor of that car's performance was Hamilton. He developed the car with Mercedes. That
Hmm.
is one of the reasons why Niki Lauda got him into the team.
Hmm.
Who's Niki Lauda? We'll get into that later. But
Yeah,
if you say it was just the car, bro, Hamilton's teammates, Valtteri Bottas,
yeah.
Nico Rosberg, he had to leave after one season, bro. It's just, there has to be something about that guy, right?
There has to
That
be
is what just makes me love him so much.
major competitor, dude. He doesn't give up. Like, that hammer
Yeah,
time stuff, it still gives me goosebumps.
exactly.
It still gives me
Dude.
goosebumps. But I'll talk to you about Red Bull. All right, see why I like
Uh-huh.
Red Bull. It's a fresh, young team. Not even a car team. It's not even a car team. It's an energy drink
True.
team. All right. So that's like so cool. Like you're not even a car manufacturer, but you still manage to win the F1 races. They've got this young, fresh blood sort of energy. This
Yeah,
arrogant, yeah, like bratish energy, saying that dude, we are here to win. Ruthless. They're
yeah,
completely ruthless. Even the driver that they chose, Max Verstappen. Man, that man's like he doesn't has a heart, dude. He has a steering wheel in his heart. Like that's how ruthless he is. That's one of the reasons why I get his mentality. He's like, I am in to win the championship. I'm here to win. I'm here to overtake people, and no matter what, I will overtake. So it's got the energy. It's got that vibe in them.
yeah.
Red Bull has got that vibe. So it's I don't know, man. That's one of the reasons why I like Red Bull because it's a vibe. Supporting them is a vibe. They've got all characters. They had Daniel Ricciardo, Christian Horner, Max Verstappen, Checo. All of them are like characters, like complete characters.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons why Red Bull, I find them entertaining, fresh, new, and like weird. This is a energy drink manufacturer company who's into sports. So that's when Ferrari's ass gets burned, saying that we are the
Yeah.
oldest team in the sport. We are a car manufacturer, but we are still getting beaten by an energy drink company. So that's why I love Red Bull, dude.
That's true,
Yeah,
100%. But here's the thing, that if you don't have that mentality in Formula One, you should probably save your money and leave. If you're
Exactly.
not here to win, you're wasting your time.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, I mean, true. And again, yeah, I agree. Red Bull for an energy drink company is doing great. But if you really look at it, the energy drink part comes in only financially, because
Ah,
until now it was Honda. Before that, it was Aston Martin. So
yeah.
yeah, it's like you can say that, oh, a sports drink company is defeating a car company, but once they're in Formula One, they're all working
I know.
towards building a
I
car,
know.
so they have the right people for it.
I know.
That's true. And then again, the characters. Daniel Ricciardo, loved the guy, left Red Bull. Checo Perez, loved the guy, not so happy with Red Bull, I'm pretty sure. So, I mean, we can get into that later on. But yeah, no doubt they are an
Yeah.
amazing team, and what
भाई,
they've done
yeah.
is crazy.
खुला मैदान है. We can आराम से discuss about this in the future. For now, I hope you guys found some value from this episode and hope you guys fall in love with F1.